Hello and welcome to Last Month in SiN. I am Rob Anderson, the voice of Written Sins. And today we're going to go over last month, May 2017. And for those who don't know, this is the first time in Written Sins history that we're actually repeating a month. This is the first time where this is our 13th month of operations. So it's a fantastic moment, and to celebrate that, we're doing something new and unique. As always, trying to try something new. So our cover picture is a hint from now on for these things we're going to take and put apart. A lot of you probably know who made the #1 spot, but this is going to be a hint to who has the #1 spot from now on. So check out the new cool stuff. We have now one of those actual slideshows. Opinion Stage, who as many of you know we partner up with and has given us a great deal to use their stuff, is is adding this this cool new feature where it's a slideshow. So let's check out last month in SiN, May 2017. Here are the top 7 things that our members, sinners, creators, and viewers couldn't help but peep and stare at. Cool, right? Number 7. Click to see what's next. See, cool new graphics. We're doing cool new stuff. And look what it is. Fetish Babies finds its new artist. Now, we announced this in April, and it carried all the way over to May, and I appreciate that. I really do. We had covered this so much that we stopped covering it on the weeklies because we made the rule that something can't be in the same week from weekend to weekend, and it's still carried over, and it was the number 7 story in a month with it. For the record, May has been almost, within 10 actual views of being the second most viewed month of our existence. It wound up being the number 3, but I'm telling you, they're within 10 literal views. And that's amazing because the last May we had, I don't think we had more than 100 views. And that tells you in 1 year how far we've come. We went from 1 view to thousands upon thousands of views, and that thank you all to you for showing up. Fetish Babies, of course, is something I'm working on. It's one of my my creative properties, as it were, one of my IPs. It's created by me and my wife, and we introduced that we're going to have we did an actual talent search back in April, and we announced that we have a new artist, and we've begun work, and this is part of that beginning process, and we were very thrilled to announce to the world that we have a new creator, new artist, I should say, joining the team. And we announced that we're going to Kickstarter in October, so look forward to that. Now we just click the next button, and see, the cool thing about this is those of you who've been watching this realize that we had to go from the bottom of the page to the top, so we didn't give it away when we did the video, but anytime you guys looked on our site, it ruined it for you. This new way completely keeps you in suspense to see the countdown, and I think that's fun and cool, so I can't wait to use these. I don't think we'll ever use it for Kickstarters because you want to see everything, and I don't want anyone not to hit a button or get lost in it. I'd rather them scroll quickly, but we'll find a way to integrate this and make it cool. This is number 6, and if you notice, I got to go back and change that because it says whoa instead of we. But it adds interesting little aspects to it by giving you a little teaser about what's next. We began searching for cosplayers and found our Melina. It is Nash McKenny Thomas, and she was fantastic. She was really the first cosplayer we ever found from our CosView program. This is in Tampa. This was, oh man, this isn't Tampa Bay MegaCon. This is actually Tampa Bay. This is Tampa Bay Comic-Con. I actually took it. I'm the one who took this particular picture, and we met her there at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. So we're gonna have Mimi actually reporting for us at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. I gotta reach out to her just to get her some cards so she can cover it for us. So that's fantastic. So Written Sins will be there while I'm over at SuperCon, not only doing a bit of press but also running a table. And if anyone wants to share that table with Sinsful Comics, there's a spot, and we're willing to split the table. So if you guys are gonna be in SuperCon, Florida, not to be confused with the Raleigh one, which we're also going at, reach out to me on social media or reach out to Alyssa Anderson. She is the CEO of Sinful Comics. Moving on to number 5, we have this is a huge event whenever we share it. What could that be? It is Slave Lady Deadpool. Now, this one, anytime we put it on the site, is fantastic. I mean, this is one of my personal favorites that I had. This is once again in Tampa. No, this was actually, I know this was in Miami. This was Miami SuperCon. This year they're in Fort Lauderdale, but last year they were actually in Miami. This was over near the Miami, I think it was Miami Convention Center. I don't remember the name it was at, but it was a great actual convention center. I really liked it. She was fantastic. I really wish we'd gotten a name or something. I hope she's cosplaying, and I hope this video finds her because she has been one of the most viewed. I honestly think she's the most viewed cosplayer on our thing. I would have to go look, but I don't think anyone's beat her since the last time I looked, so she's still got to be the top one, and we're still looking for her, and I would love to know more about her after everyone's had so many views about her, and you all looked at her so much. We've all looked at her so much. It'd be nice to know her name and congratulate her. I mean, she looks amazing. She did a fantastic mending of like creating 2 different, I mean, she brought Deadpool and Star Wars together. How awesome is that? And she was the first person I ever saw do that, New York Comic Con or anything like that. She's the first one to do it. Since then, I've seen other people try it. No one's pulled it off as well or as good so far, so we'll see. Hopefully we can reach out to her. Number 4, we caught Spider-Man looking like he might want to join Team Wonder. For those who've seen this already, this was an unintentional moment where we're obviously focused on when we're taking the picture, and we don't notice that right here, Peter Parker's being Peter Porker by being kind of staring at the girl's butt and getting caught for it, so kind of piggish that way. But I mean, you can't really blame him. Beautiful young lady. It's just one of those moments where you catch it. We caught one of the actual artist alley or vendor people checking out a poison ivy just a few weeks ago too. Sometimes it's funny because we do catch it, and it's not so blatant that we won't mention it. But in this case, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't trip on the floor. He's staring so hard, and it was just a funny moment. She's a beautiful cosplayer, though. Fantastic outfit. Very impressive. We'd like to know who she is. We haven't checked her out. And it's funny because cosplay came really, really strong back onto our countdowns after it had been gone for a while. And, you know, obviously this has something to the fact that it's 1 year SiN. And we were going through for Memorial Day weekend. And just to tell you how quick this all happened, a lot of this happened Memorial Day weekend and week. These are all the top views ever on our site that we were celebrating for the 1 year of SiN. So it's amazing to see these things come back and we share them again. And no matter how long it's been, they just shoot right back up and people are just a fan of it. And we really do appreciate cosplayers for everything they do because, I mean, they're a gigantic draw for Comic-Cons now. I mean, just credit to them. They're bringing characters to life. And all of us who are creators on the site know how amazing that is to actually see characters come to life. So we thank every cosplayer, and we're always trying to give people the credit they deserve. Moving on, we have number 3. This is a treat from the Halloween. This is a treat for Halloween from Tampa Bay Comic-Con. Now, I was in Tampa Bay MegaCon. This was actually not Tampa Bay Comic-Con. I have to change that. This is Tampa Bay MegaCon. So later on, you guys are reading this, that'll be one of the things that fix this. I'll actually say MegaCon like it should. We actually took this picture, and we were up there, and it was the day before Halloween when we took some of these pictures, and we decided to share them with you guys and give a teaser. So this is actually the link to the teaser, and it just went viral. They were a fantastic mix right here, but the entire thread is just full of outstanding cosplay. And it just so happened that we had taken them all on the same day in the same kind of rung, and it was really, really exceptional. And just to give you guys like a heads up, sort of the guts of this thing, like as I'm saying, we have to fix certain things. Like you've seen it right now. I'm trying not to ruin anything you guys have seen, but this is like the background to give you guys like insight into what it usually looks like when I'm building this, to just give you a quick thing. And This is what I look at when we build it. So just, you know, a little bit of an insight to it, and I'll fix that. And if you guys ever notice that we've made a mistake or an error somewhere, always reach out to us. For those who don't know, I'm pretty open and honest about this. I suffer from horrible dyslexia and some other, you know, things that go along with dyslexia and hyperactivity and ADHD. And sometimes I simply can't see the mistakes that are being made. And I do appreciate you guys when you holler it out, and I don't get mad about it. I do appreciate it, and I fix it. So always, if you see I did something, you know, don't turn it into a drinking game, because you guys will die of alcohol poisoning. Instead, just reach out to me and tell me what the mistake is, and I'll happily do it on the site. If anyone wants to become a resident editor of our site and do checking, by all means, you're more than welcome. But that's just the background of it, giving you guys like a view that normally you might not see. On to our list. We're now at number 2. Exciting. So most people know what number 1 is, but a lot, because we had the teaser, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But first, let's see what the second most viewed. And for the credit of this, the second most viewed was only off of the most viewed by 25 views. So it really came down to the buzzer on this one. And number 2 was this stormtrooper, beautiful young lady. We know who she is. We have her name, but she kind of wanted to stay anonymous in her cosplay. She's part of a traveling group in Florida. I believe it's the 501. I might be getting it wrong. I have to look again. I apologize if I'm getting it wrong and she watches this. She didn't really want anyone to really know, and sometimes I understand that completely. Not everyone has a fan page, or not when everyone does cosplaying for anything other than the fandom. And she really wanted to just stay anonymous with it and just let it be what it was, and let it be a fantastic picture taken, and just have it celebrated. And we're more than respectful for that. But she made our countdown just for being her and being unique and looking just amazing in the stormtrooper outfit. So we won't tell you who she is, but we'll certainly tell you that she's definitely worth being a fan of. And if you do know who she is, I'm sure it's a privilege to know her. I got to talk to her for a little bit. Seems like a very wonderful person, fantastic person to talk to. We had a great conversation, and of course we'll respect her wish to remain anonymous. But she said we could more than share the picture and let people enjoy it for what it is. So just a fantastic cosplay, obviously. And now we get to the big tease. First we do the tease, and this is the truth about the number 1. Here we go, the big number 1, a record setter and holder. It should say holder. I have to fix that too. But a holder in Written Sins. For those who have followed Written Sins, you probably know who this is, but we're going to go over it right now. It is, of course, Danny Smith, and her boobs is always a favorite of the sinners. And the sinners wound up being something, for those who don't know also, just to give you a heads up, someone had called our audience sinners, and I kind of went with it. I thought it was kind of cool, but I also refer to it as sinners, creators, and fans, because I know some people might take sinners as something not intended. So, you know, it's like when you call your friends, you know, certain things that other people might be offended by. So we do use all that, but for this we said sinners. Danny Smith, fantastic artist, did an adult coloring book called Boobs. Her full interview's here. You can get the coloring book still on Amazon. I have the coloring book. It was a fantastic idea. She wound up doing great with it and donated some of the proceeds from it to breast cancer awareness. So that was fantastic. Just an absolutely great creator. If you're not a fan of Danny Smith, I don't know what's wrong with you. You gotta go fan her, and it's easy to do right here. So, ending it out, we asked everyone last year, and we're asking everyone this year: are you one of us? And basically, are you one of us? Well, it's the person who subscribes to our site, subscribes to our pages, subscribes to our YouTube account, subscribes to it to see new content from indie creators, the type of stuff that should be in our mainstream movie theaters and our mainstream television. And instead of this reboot, redo culture that we live in currently. And you guys who are the fans of indie comics have been doing a fantastic job this year I don't mean to sound like I'm bitching, but we need to step it up and do more. It is amazing to know that Kickstarter will potentially outshine both Marvel and DC. Excuse me. Will outshine Marvel and DC. And with that said, that means that this is going to be an age of creation and new fantastic ideas. I'm going to sneeze. It must be true, like my grandmother used to say. If you sneeze, it's true. It's a fantastic time to live because you get all these cool creative ideas that you wouldn't get from Marvel and DC. And that's not hating on Marvel and DC. I get that they're business. I get they have to justify things that they can't take the chances that indie comics can. So when we ask you, are you one of us? We're asking, are you someone who wants new content? That has been last month in SiN. We have a couple last weeks in SiN coming up over the next couple days, but just as we close the program, thank you all for who show up day in and day out and look at what we're doing, who let us share their things, who let us take their pictures when we're at conventions. You guys are all rock stars, in my opinion. If you have something to share, if you need a Kickstarter, if you need anything that's creator related, we were there. If you want to join the team, come on board. This is all of our sites. I was telling it at MegaCon. I said the only way that it's my site is in the way that I paid the bills to keep it running. And now I don't even do that. My wife is taking it over with Sinful Comics. I just get to Sinful Comics. I just get to continue to run it the way it should be run. It'll never be run like a business as long as I'm involved, because businesses worry about profits and worry about views. I don't. I worry about getting creators' messages out there. The CEO, Jax, is trying to get my attention as he comes over here. He's looking at the stuff. His comic book is actually going to Kickstarter in a few weeks, and he needs my attention right now. He wants to know what's going on with everything. So I'm going to jump off here. You guys are always fantastic and great. Thank you for joining us on the program tonight. And remember to always, always support indie comics. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.